Joining us now with his take on the Biden border crisis, United States Navy veteran and candidate for Texas's 3rd Congressional District, Burt Thakur. Thanks so much for being with us today. It's great to have you.
Oh, it's so great to be back here again. You know, one of the great things about this network is that y'all give a voice to the voiceless. And I think what we're seeing is a lot of Americans who are fed up with the nonsense of people like Mayorkas. You know, how many times have you heard this? How many times have people heard this? Oh, we inherited this mess. Well, you've known about this for 2 years. You know, the last time I was on here, I was saying, hey, I've been to the border. I've been and put my hands on the wall, spoken to Border Patrol agents who are using trucks from 2010 to chase trophy trucks that are $200,000-$300,000. Local sheriffs who are wanting cash dogs because you have cartels with houses full of billions of dollars and they're looking for this stuff. And yet now is the time that they've decided they've inherited something broken. I'm sick of this nonsense. I'm sure everyone else is. Thank you so much for highlighting an issue that is affecting millions of Americans.
Of course, we are happy to do it. It's necessary. And thank you for, being so brave and bold to talk about this stuff in a time where people are so dismissive of what's happening. People are denying that this is our very real reality. And it's just baffling to me that, this is happening and we really need to take hold of the situation. As you heard, Mayorkas claims this is a result of a broken immigration system. However, as you mentioned earlier, there are countless Republicans who have been warning of this for years. Where does he get off with these continued lies?
You know, lying seems to be the nom de rigueur of this administration. When you have a Congress that is basically trying on the one hand to gaslight a group of people, on the other hand create solutions, and you have an administration that is unwilling to actually physically go down to the border and see what the issue is. Yeah. I mean, the fact that a United States Senator Ted Cruz is down there calling out an issue that's happening. We're seeing 100,000 people who have successfully crossed the border. We just heard of an Afghan who was on the terror list coming in with a group of migrants. You know, when I was down at the border and speaking to ICE detention agents, they were talking about military age Chinese men coming across. Look, the reality is this. I get it. Title 42 is a medical issue. It's a bill that is designed to prevent the introduction of pathogens into the country. But the reality is we have monkeypox, we have Ebola. COVID brought us down to a standstill. And this administration isn't vetting anyone. In fact, if you recall, illegal immigrants were coming into this country and they didn't have to have proof of vaccine status, right, while the rest of us were under the yoke of tyranny. There is an insanity. We're seeing homeless veterans getting kicked out of hotels so illegal immigrants can be placed in. There's a fundamental disconnect between being an American, having a heart, and also doing things legally. And sometimes it takes an immigrant like me to say, hey, there's a difference between immigration and asylum, and a nation without borders cannot exist, period.
No, it cannot, absolutely cannot. Fortunately, there are people like Texas Governor Greg Abbott who had the sense to deploy the Texas National Guard to block migrants crossing. They were actually coming through a river in Brownsville, Texas. I think we have some footage of that if we want to play it. But as you can see here, hopefully we can get this up on the screen, there are illegals who are climbing up a hill out of a river, and they are blocked off from entering by soldiers who have put up barbed wire. I mean, it's just unreal. And thank God Abbott's doing this. But why should it even have to come to this? Shouldn't this be the job of Joe Biden and the federal government?
Exactly. And if you recall, when President Trump was even flirting with the idea of sending the National Guard or the Army down south, there were cries of racist, bigot, this and that nonsense. But the reality is, look, this administration has created a chaotic, a sense of chaos where hundreds of thousands of people think it's okay to cross the border illegally. You know, I was just speaking with an Indian immigrant who is here on an H-1B visa amongst countless millions of other Indians. And guess what? They're stuck with a 150-year backlog before they can get a green card. These are people who've paid thousands of dollars. They've come to this country legally. They have high skill, and they're being employed by big tech.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.